let's get into this whole situation with Fox Sports. All right. Skip Bayless is being named as like the main perpetrator here, but let me get into it because I hadn't really read it until today. Okay. So, hairstylist Nushin Faraji alleges she was forced to endure a misogynistic, racist, and ableist workplace where executives and talent were allowed to physically and verbally abuse workers with impunity from 2012 through 2024. I'm going to just tell y'all off rip, I can absolutely believe what she's saying. As somebody that worked in the news industry, that knows how a lot of this works, as far as like your HR really being the assistant to the boss. So whatever you go to them and talk about, they basically go tell whoever you complained about, they go tell them what was said, and now you're getting reprimanded for what you said to the HR people. So yeah, like when you've worked in those types of environments, I feel like you know that people are sometimes going to get away with sexual harassment. I've been sexually harassed on the job. I think almost every woman I know has been at one point or another. Either somebody felt your ass, showed you something that was explicit, said something to you that was explicit, flirted with you in some type of way, made you feel uncomfortable. Either way, almost everybody I know, almost every woman I know who worked in corporate America has dealt with that at some point or another. Okay. And sometimes you don't say shit because you cool with the people and you don't want it to blow up, even though that's not the energy you want from them. But you also don't want to get them in trouble. So yeah, I definitely have been in situations like that and understand that. So that's another reason why when we talk about some of these stories, I'm more equipped to believe that it happened because I've seen it happen over and over and over again. And nobody does anything a lot of the times. Anyway, Bayless is accused by Faraji of putting his body against hers and pressing against her breasts, despite her telling him she wasn't interested in him. Faraji also claims Bayless offered her $1.5 million for sex and became more aggressive as time went on. She accuses Bayless of insulting her faith as well, claiming he asked, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?" when she reminded him that he is married. Faraji also alleges she was targeted for her ethnicity and by other unnamed employees during her time at Fox. I could absolutely believe all of that shit. I can. Emmanuel Acho, while not a complaint against him, on air host Emmanuel Acho, whatever his name is accused of having a sexual relationship with colleague Joy Taylor in 2020. Okay, so then we're going to get into this other part with Joy Taylor. Just give me a minute. So Taylor, a Fox Sports host, is accused of insulting Faraji on a personal, professional level and telling Faraji to get over it when the hairstylist reported alleged sexual harassment by Fox Sports executive Charlie Dixon. So it wasn't just Skip Bayless, it was also one of the executives, Charlie Dixon. Taylor is alleged to have had a sexual relationship with both Dixon and H.O. at the same time. When Faraji approached her with concerns about the dynamic, the lawsuit states Taylor told her that she would simply report Dixon's misconduct to Fox Sports once he was no longer useful to her. So I wanted to talk about that for a second because I know a lot of people got upset about that, but I was just like, honestly, how do you think women survive in these systems, right? So to me, it sounds like Dixon is somebody that's going to try you. Sometimes you're a woman that's like, I'm not fucking this old nigga. I want him to leave me alone. Please, I don't want to be bothered. And there's another woman that's like, okay, I'm already at this job. He's already going to sexually harass me. I might as well get something out of it. And because he did come at me sideways, I just let it happen. If he ever decides to fuck with me, I'ma just say what it was, even though I played into it because I felt like it was more advantageous for me to just go ahead and give him what he wanted versus telling him no. That's what I think that's the reason why I think Joy Taylor had a relationship with Charlie Dixon. And I feel like she probably had a relationship with Emmanuel because she wanted him, because he was attractive. Charlie Dixon, a Fox Sports executive vice president of content, is accused of grabbing Faraji inappropriately. Faraji also accuses Dixon of entering a sexual relationship with Taylor and giving her the right to host Undisputed as a result. Yeah. Dixon was adamant that Taylor hosts Undisputed despite objections from Bayless. Faraji says, adding that Taylor told her directly that she was given the job because of her relationship with Dixon. What did I just say? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely going to use this nasty old man harassing me to get the job that I want to get because, I'm okay with that. Does that mean that he's not sexually harassing the women in the office? Obviously not. Okay. Faraji alleges Taylor's then husband, and please don't get me wrong, I still feel like Taylor ain't shit for what she told old girl, but what I'm saying, what she told Faraji about just get over it. Like that's bullshit. Just because you can hold out your coochie and she can't, don't mean she need to just get over what happened to her just because you're okay with it happening to you. But see, here's the thing, and this is what a lot of times I want y'all to really understand about this shit. Regardless to whether the women are okay with it or not, the men are usually still overstepping boundaries that they shouldn't be overstepping in the workplace. Period. Either way, let's continue on. Faraji alleges Taylor's then husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship before divorcing her. She also accuses Dixon of paying off Taylor's second husband, former NBA player and coach Earl Watson, to stay silent about the matter. Dixon is accused in the lawsuit of firing an unnamed female employee for refusing to have sex with him and keeping his own wife on Fox's payroll so she would stay silent about his affairs. I believe all that shit. I believe all that shit. I'm sorry. It really don't take much for me to believe that men are moving like this in positions of power at some of these organizations. That's how they move. While Diaz is a behind the scenes employee at Fox Sports. So for instance, I'm going to just say this. I knew an executive producer that I absolutely feel like rubbed elbows and was fucking one of her bosses. She still was good at her job though. I think she got the position that she got because she was kissing ass and sucking dick. I do. But I also feel like if we was being real, she was working her ass off too. Like if we was being real, at some point she was good at her job and she was working her ass off. She just was also fucking one of her bosses and eventually got a position based on her relationship with the bosses. Like I'm just being real with y'all. Like it sometimes it's really not as black and white as everybody try to act like it is. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Diaz. While Diaz is a behind the scenes employee at Fox Sports rather than on air talent, he's the subject of some of the most explosive allegations from the lawsuit that help paint the picture of what she claims was a toxic work environment. Faraji alleges Diaz racially and sexually harassed other employees, but was not reprimanded because he provided cocaine for colleagues. My God. Yo. The reason why I'm having this response is because there was literally a person at the job that we felt like kept getting, he would have these outlandish moments at the job happen and it would keep getting passed over and nobody would say anything about it because he was the one that provided, things allegedly for some of the people who were in charge. They partied at some point. They partied together. That's what we would always you just call it they partied together. If they partied together and he come to the job fucked up, possibly with no shoes on, I don't know. He's still gonna have his job after that because he was a supplier. Y'all, this is a completely different state. Okay. But I'm just saying, I've heard of similar situations taking place on the job. Very similar. Okay. Oh my God. Oh Lord. Where was I? Mr. Diaz openly gropes, harasses, and is inappropriate with women at Fox. The lawsuit states, adding that Diaz was able to avoid punishment even after an incident where he removed his pants on live camera. Who is Skip Bayless' hairstylist? Nushin Faraji served as hairstylist for Bayless and other Fox Sports talent based in Los Angeles. Faraji was hired by Fox on a part-time basis in 2012 and was made full-time in 2016. According to her lawsuit, Faraji was the victim of workplace misconduct from 2012 through August of 2024. Skip Bayless is worth $17 million. Okay. The 73-year-old former host of Undisputed spent 8 years with Fox Sports before leaving in 2024. He is the subject of some of the most troubling allegations in the lawsuit, including the claim that he offered her $1.5 million for sex. So yeah. I think that pretty much gets it. The Fox statement. Fox Sports released a short statement after the lawsuit saying, "We take these allegations seriously and have no further comment at this time, given this pending litigation," the company said in the wake of a bombshell. So yeah, what I feel like is that it will just continue. Like this system of how things work, you might get the old ones out, but there'll always be somebody else in the position that they feel like is more valuable than somebody else. And that person who knows that they're more valuable, if they're a man and they want to touch a titty or say something inappropriate to somebody, they'll be able to get away with it because in the system, they're in a hierarchy and they're more valuable than the hairdresser or whoever else. But let's listen to what the men's was saying on our side of the internet about Joy Taylor apparently fucking her way to the top. And I'm gonna tell y'all again how I feel about that. I feel like a lot of times women who get to these positions, they actually deserve the positions, but they probably would not get to where they get to if they weren't willing to give a little bit more sometimes, especially when it comes to television.
What I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance.
Okay. Hey, Jason Whitlock. Hey, my guy. No, you're not my guy. Guy, come here. You're not that guy, pal.
You're not that guy either, Cam. What the fuck? The fact that Cam, one of the most misogynistic, disrespectful niggas on the internet, wants to come and check another man is hilarious. Let's listen.
You're not. That big rack of hers, that's inappropriate. That butter skin, that's inappropriate. Like, bro, you're not that guy. So to comment on something like this, bro, stay in your lane. Whether Joy did what she did, the accusations are true or not, stay in your lane, Jason.
Meaning that you acting like, oh, she was too fine. I knew I had to stay away from her. Like, nigga, please. Nigga, please. If that lady would have blinked the eye in your direction, you'd have been slobbing trying to suck up the cum out of her coochie. Cut it out.
All right? Because, bro, like, you're having an outer body experience, and it's time for me to put you back in your body to let you know, bro, you're not that guy, pal.
Yeah.
So whether you want...
Why are you talking like that? Is he okay? Where are they shooting this?
Want to speak on your 2 cents or not, keep it. Please do. Because, no, it ain't that.
But I wanted to ask you a question, too, for Joy Taylor. Not saying the allegations are true. But how would one move around in the industry now as a host to be taken serious, and for people like Jason Whitlock not to make these statements about them? Like, when I see you, it's like, oh, I know what she about. Let me say what I say.
I remember having a conversation with my lady, and she brought up a point that I never really considered. Is there's a such thing as pretty girl privilege. Mm-hmm. But there's also a thing where you have pretty girl exclusion.
Elaborate.
You see what I'm saying? So like when you're a pretty girl, it's hard for people to take you serious because your physique looks a certain type of way, because your face looks a certain type of way. And that's just the truth.
So they see you before they hear you.
They that. Okay. And it's sometimes unfortunate because you can be a very attractive person, Joy, Molly, Jazz, multiple other, talent that's on ESPN and Fox. And what do you tell them? Just because you're a pretty girl, you're not qualified? Or if you do get this job, you only got it because you slept with somebody? That's bullshit. Yeah. That's bullshit. And no matter how you look, no matter what color your skin is, the job should go to the person who's most deserving of the job, no matter how you look. Right. So,
and let's not forget, this is a TV job. So how she looks absolutely matters. How she look absolutely matters. So I understand what he's trying to say, and he low-key is not wrong. He got that from Jazzy. Jazzy gave him this talking point. That's obvious, okay? Because he's so disingenuous with it, it's ridiculous. But I think what he's saying is, don't act like this girl didn't deserve her job just because she may or may not have been fucking somebody, and you think she was fucking somebody because she's attractive. No, we think she fucking somebody because the lady said that she was fucking somebody, and she's gotten into certain positions that are hard for people to get into unless you have a connection. But to me, fucking somebody to get a job is no different than knowing somebody and getting a job. It's no different than nepotism. To me, the only thing that makes any of these things bad is when you get a person that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing in that position. That's the only time it really matters. That's the only time. But at the end of the day, like, Cam, shut up. Like, shut up. Shut up.
Joy, is she a very attractive woman? Absolutely. And it's not for me to make inappropriate statements, Jason, by saying that rack. Like, bro, come on, bro. Like, all right, let's put it like this, since we want to get personal. Like, yo, who you fucking? Who you sleeping with?
What she look like?
Like, bring her to the forefront, him to the forefront, because now you got to be open in these.
Yeah, got to be.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't no shade, but I'm just keeping it a bug.
Yeah.
This is a person who's, bro, like, been a villain in the industry for years. So I'm like, bro, we want to see her, him, whoever. I'm not judging you, bro. I'm just saying, don't say no inappropriate things like that and not be questioned about that. But also too, from the talent standpoint, the Joys, the Mollys, the girls or the females who are attractive, that doesn't mean that they aren't talented or the right person for the job, because it took me to appreciate Molly.
Okay, but yeah, no, I agree with him about that, because at the end of the day, like, I worked in the news business. Your look matters. No matter what. If you are on television, your look matters. And I also feel as if those jobs are really hard, especially like news jobs. Those jobs are not easy. So you can act like somebody fucked their way to the top, but when you actually see it up close and personal, yeah, she might have had an inappropriate relationship with that nigga, but she was also at work. Every time she needed to be at work, makeup on, heels on, in a dress, standing in front of a fucking monitor, reading the prompt. You know what I'm saying? They was doing their job. They wasn't just up there fucking somebody alone. Like, no, you had to put work in with this as well, okay? And some are willing to do it and some are not willing to do it. Just like I was not willing to kiss ass. My actual work ethic did enough for me. Okay, I'm not, and everybody has to make that personal choice. Me and another editor were working at the news station at the exact same time. He was willing to do a lot of shit to be their friend, kiss their ass. I'm not doing all of that. I'm just gonna work really well. What they learned is they could always count on both of us. It may not get done right with him, but they can count on him to show up. With me, they know that for the most part, it's going to get handled. We both became people that they called on all the time whenever somebody needed to fill in a position, because they knew we were both going to get the job done, just regardless of how. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to have a nervous breakdown while I'm trying to get it done, but you might get a little attitude from me if you're working on my fucking nerves. He might have a whole conniption and have to walk outside and smoke a cigarette. But either way, he was kissing ass and I was just going to work hard. Handled it differently. At the end of the day, we're still probably getting paid about the same amount of money. Okay? So, yeah, I think sometimes you just got to open up your mind a little bit about some of these things, because I think a lot of the times you just want to judge people for whatever reason. But the truth of the matter is, even the girls that are fucking to get somewhere have to also do the work on top of fucking somebody to get there. Like, it's a lot of work. Sounds like a lot of work to me, buddy.